who could not join either. So I wanted to just do, to start the meeting, of course, and to ask whether I can see Exile is here. I can see Alessandro is here. Katla is here. Florie is here. I keep opening the wrong pad. So I'm going to open the meeting now at, I guess it's 8:02 or 8:03 Central European Time. I am going to suggest that I chaired the meeting after Mikuláš asked whether I could do so. Is there anyone else that would like to chair the meeting? Okay. Then I will ask. Oh, I can see already that Alessandro and Exile are going to be to do the minute taking for the meeting.
Yeah, I volunteer Exile.
You volunteered Exile.
Correct.
You voluntold Exile, I believe.
Yes.
And Florie started the recording. Perfect. We are. Let me just see. Do we? Does anyone know about Marketa? Whether Marketa could join today? No one's heard from Marketa. All right. Well, then for now, let's assume that Marketa cannot join. And has anyone heard from Jan?
Nope.
No one's heard from Jan. Okay.
No. I hope I didn't disappoint him last Thursday. He actually dropped a message in the chat. Hey guys, do you remember that me and did we have an informal meeting, a working group about the COVID-19?
Right.
Alessandro was the only one agreed, and I left him alone. I agreed, but I didn't get the message, and I forgot it. We call it in Italy pacco.
Paco. So, for the agenda of this meeting, we have just general reports of activity. I think there's been a work meeting since we last met on the upcoming council meeting.
Yes.
We have had a what else for the agenda? We've had a request for an observing member. To be taken to the council meeting. And is there anything else anyone would like to put on the agenda? Any other requests? Exile, I know you had been involved in the work meeting. Is there anything aside from generally just the planning of the council meeting that needs to be discussed in that regard?
Yes, of course, there is. Well, there was this first meeting, is what could attend it. We were about 6 or 7 persons. We made a first draft for the agenda on the upcoming council meeting, and we spoke a little bit about January organization. I gave you a link both in the minutes and in the chat.
Thank you.
This is the European wiki site for the upcoming council meeting, and if you scroll down, you will find on the bottom, organization meetings. So there is the first one, which was made 29 of October. And these are the minutes of this. What thinking about it, we forgotten to speak about is what is about rules of procedure. And we got still the big missing of manpower. In principle, we would need about 10 persons to organize that. In fact, mainly the persons who attended the meeting are nominated. So this should be a little bit tricky to have nominated people in the organization of the meeting. It would be better to split it.
Right. So, so for the purpose of setting the agenda for today's meeting, you suggest that we split it into just council meeting and then a second part, rules of procedure. Procedure. Perfect.
No, wait a minute, Doctor. Perhaps not to split it. It's clearly something which has to be done by the working group of the council. Leave it to them. It's just mentioning it that this is still missing.
I see. Okay. Is there anything else that we need to discuss for today's meeting? I wrote in the report from the treasurer in terms of council membership. Just wanted to have that clear if anyone has expressed any issues in terms of payments or anything else that needs to be done. We only have 3 weeks until the meeting, so I put on anything else for the agenda.
Yeah, okay. I think that last time we decided to invite the lawyer that presents the. You remember that we had our ECI about file sharing, and we have we just to just update the board before the council meeting. We decided to invite him here, and I did actually. Let me see if it's somewhere here. I don't know, but anyway, just to yes, that is MC. It's him. It was the lawyer that presented the European Citizen Initiative in Milan, if you remember, and we just decided to let him speak briefly about the current statuses of this. So we can.
Could you add that to the agenda under
Sure.
point 4? Is that the freedom to share?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. I'll let whoever's taking notes finish that. All right. If there's nothing else, then the final point for the agenda, point 5, any other business? So the minutes from the last meeting need to be approved. I guess I'm just going to move this. Here we go. All right. So please, if there are no other points. So there are no other points. This is our agenda. Katla seems to be having some issues with her microphone, but she's in the chat as I see it. So I then ask the present members of the board of the European Pirate Party to please cast their votes in terms of the approval of the agenda. Flori and Katla, I have just copy-pasted the meeting pad in the Jitsi link.
Hello.
Yes.
There it is. Okay, great.
So please, at your pleasure, approve, abstain, or deny the approval of the agenda, and as well as the minutes of last meeting. All right. Then let's get down to business. So the first point on the agenda, which has been approved, is the upcoming council meeting. I am thinking, Oliver Exile, whether you want to start us off in terms of that meeting that was held.
Sorry, there's another button with micro on. I'm used to mumble with push to talk, and here it's different. And each time I'm doing the same thing. I'm starting to speak, but nobody hear me.
Just like me, different issue, different, but different but same. But yeah, please go ahead, Oliver.
Well, as said, I tried to give already a small introduction in doing the agenda. In principle, it was good visited, and there was a certain interest. Nonetheless, we're far away from having already a clear structure to the council meeting. I think we are more in the brainstorming situation still, while afterwards the whole factic work has to be done. As you can see, what my personal worry is about, if you're going into the minutes of this preparation minutes, you will see that there are a lot of good ideas which we're seeking for manpower, like this pirate beer during the evening, for example, where we're seeking something like a social manager who brings people a little bit together. Well, Alessandro would like to speak.
Yes. So, thank you, Exile. Just before Exile comes in, I'd like to ask you. So, your main points are that there's a lot of work that still needs to be done before the council meeting, and number two, that at this current stage you're looking for volunteers to help with numerous points on the agenda, among them someone to manage the beer night on the Saturday. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you. And Alessandro.
Yeah, I was there, and we figured out that the apps that we really could have some troubles in the organization. Not now because we have 3 weeks, but if the council meeting will be next week, we want to make it. So we have to be very aware. In my opinion, the main problem is you remember last time, of course, we had few volunteers, and at last we did it, but last time we didn't have the election. Yeah, don't laugh at me. Last time we didn't have the election. So what we agreed, I mean informally agreed, but of course it's a discussion that can involve every one of us, that is pretty unpleasant to have, nominated people that are chairing, co-chairing, minute takers, and so on. Of course, at last, if we won't have any volunteer, for sure, I want a volunteer for chairing, absolutely. But at least for secretarying, yes. But it's not good, you count votes, you have some responsibility to take everything into the right way. straight, on the way. So I think that we have this kind of problem actually. At least chairing the meeting, that is, let's say, the official role that keeps everything super partes and everything brings on, not only empowering and conduct the meeting, but just it's a formal role also. And also minute takers, all the because you have to count votes and so on. It would be nice to have at least 2 persons for chairing and at least 2 or 3 persons for secretarying and helping chairpersons to chair the meeting in the right way. That means 5 people. 5 people they're not, let's say, us. Right now, I have no sites. I have no, and we need them. Otherwise, it would be, it could be some potential. We have a lot of things to say, and we didn't see each other because it's an online meeting, and you know that online meetings are not like live meetings. So it seems that are much more easier to organize, but it is not. It is not. No, yes, you're right. Maybe we just save monies, but because we don't have to buy stuff, we don't have to collect, money for paying the rent. But it is not. It's very hard. As I remember, it was hard last time in May when I was just secretarying, and you, Okta, you, Katla, and I also think that Mikuláš, you were exhausted chairing the meeting. So, and it's important that we have some reliable chairperson and reliable minute takers. That's my point. At least we should find them in, let's say, we should have some, we should give somebody like a deadline that if we don't fulfill the deadline, we should have a plan B, or otherwise the meeting won't take a seat. That's my opinion.
Right. Right. I remember the last council meeting. It is quite exhausting. And online does pose advantages, but it also makes things a lot more difficult with voting, etc. Exile, you have your hand up.
Yes. Regarding the chair, what Alessandro told us just a moment ago, there was one person, Katla, are volunteering for chair. You told us last organization meeting, but that's only one person of 2 at least, or better 3 moderators, and on top of it, Katla is also nominated. Nonetheless, I raised the hand for doing a different question. Is this organization structure of the council meeting a thing we have to speak here in the board, or should we externalize this to a working group?
Right, that's a really good question. I'm going to allow Katla, who has her hand up as well, just to give her notes, and then we come back to your question, Exile, if that's okay.
Yeah, hi, thanks. So I think when we had that working meeting, we talked about having all the elections on the Sunday in order for us that are currently in the board to be able to do that grunt work on the Saturday, like chairing and minute taking and such. And then we would only have to man the Sunday, like get manpower for the Sunday in chairing and for so forth. There was one thing during that meeting that I think we should revisit. I was talking to people there about, we should go into our own ranks and talk to people that we know in our own organization, that we know are good chairs and good minute takers, and see if they are willing to participate. That idea didn't get a lot of, what's the word for the,
Ground?
Something
Something like that?
Something like that. Yeah, there was more willingness to just advertise for volunteers, and I honestly think that we don't have time for that. I am most certainly sure that, for example, I can go and rally up, 2, 3, 4 people who are willing to do shifts of chairing and minute taking and whatever assistance is needed in the upcoming council meeting within my own organization, and I would probably have an answer within a week about that. So if everybody would do so, we could have at least one person from each organization that is not either a delegate or a nominee for the board.
Right.
You get my drift. So I think that should be something that we could do. And I'm sorry. There was another thing that I wanted to suggest, realizing that it's 3 weeks until this council meeting is supposed to happen. Lots of stuff that we need to do. So I want to propose that we have a working meeting every week, on a Thursday or another day that suits people, to just to be sure that things are on the go, and also that we have a board meeting, next week as well as the week after. Thank you.
Thank you, Katla. So that was a couple of proposals. Coming back to you, Exile, whether this is the relevant time and place to discuss. I guess my question is, do we have the organizational power, and are we at a point where we can, in the next 3 weeks, ensure that this council meeting is as well planned out as it needs to be? And if not, does the board need to make a decision of postponing it if we are not? So I guess the project management of sorts and the planning of the council meeting is at the core of whether the next 3 weeks we will be able to manage setting it up. I guess maybe that's the conversation that needs to be had here, and of course these board meetings ideally should only be for decision making. So yes, Exile, you have your hand up.
I'm supporting. I'm still here, yeah. No, wrong button. Here, I'm supporting Katla in both proposals. It would be good to hold this working group and predefine things in this working group. Nonetheless, we should keep the pressure on urgency, get this organization started. So I'm also supporting to meet in the board next Sunday once again, and so keep the pressure on this process.
Right. So the proposal is that that we keep the dates, as far as I can hear, that we keep the dates, that we will have Thursday and Sunday meetings until the weekend of the council meeting. If I understand Katla and Exile correctly, I can see Katla is nodding. Right.
You see, not only if you agree, we'd come off.
What I then suggest is that that we take the next points of this council meeting, of this board meeting, and finish this board meeting as soon as possible, so we can use the time after this board meeting to organize ourselves in terms of what needs to be done by what deadline, etc. It's pretty ambitious. There's a lot of points that need to be done. So if you're in agreement, then I suggest that's the way forward, because I agree, Exile, this is not a work meeting. It's a board meeting. Katla poses the question whether we vote on this proposal. Does anyone have anything to add in terms of voting? Alessandro, please go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to. There's no problem for me to vote on this proposal, but I would like to add, if you all agree, let's say that we just start right now, and I second your question that you're posing before, Octa. Do we need to postpone the meeting if we don't achieve? If I think that we should vote on a proposal like this, that if we in 2 weeks are not able to at least manage the meeting that will be held on just 1 week later, we cannot, just have a week for rushing in and make things happen. It would be better to say that we have a process that ends the next 2 weeks. So I agree with the proposal of having 2 board meetings, one next Sunday, the next one after 15 days, and then the council meeting itself, also the working group. But I would like to add, if we don't get it into 15 days, we should be aware that we will postpone the council meeting. So everybody, it should be clear for everybody that we cannot do everything, and we won't go to the meeting unprepared. That's my proposal.
Do the statutes allow for this, to postpone the meeting with only a week's notice?
That's a good question.
Really, and I actually don't know. But I think it should, because if it comes an earthquake, what will happen? For instance,
Don't talk to me about earthquake these days. There's too many earthquakes in Iceland right now.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Fuck.
Yeah. So, but yeah, for the sake of absolutely, in case of, let me see.
Yeah, I would be surprised if we're allowed to postpone even at this time. I know that in the Icelandic statutes, it's not allowed once it has been legally advertised,
I'm just going through the statutes. If please, anyone attending the meeting, if anyone attending the meeting has a specific point in the statutes that they can help us with, in terms of whether that would be illegal at all or legal at all, please let us know either by raising your hand or by writing in the Jitsi chat. Exile says voting is a problem. We are 5 members of the board that are present.
Me too.
Oh, we are 6. Hang on. Did you let me just update? That was Jan, right?
Yeah.
All right, let me move you. Here we go. So Jan is also so there's 6 of us, so I do believe that we that we can vote. So the Marketa, Mikuláš, and Gamitra are the 3 board members that are missing, that couldn't attend today, or have either been excused or not. Sorry for not. I didn't see you come in, Jan. I'm sorry about that.
I joined it around 2015, so I wasn't here at the start.
All right. Perfect. But you are now, which is good. So I think as a matter of finishing this point in our agenda, we've had a proposal by Katla, which Exile seconded, which is to have Thursday and Sunday meetings up until the council meeting weekend. I don't think we would have to, I mean, these are working meetings, not board meetings, so I don't see that we would need to vote. But of course, I would appreciate if members of the board could show interest in whether they can attend and assist in the organization and planning of the board meeting. Of the council meeting. That's the second time I've said the wrong meeting. Sorry about that. So perhaps more if you can give a notion and anyone else of assisting with the planning and organization. I can see that Katla has found the point with the council. I think honestly, it would be more problematic to try and have a council meeting where things were not as they need to be for council members to be able to successfully participate and vote in accordance to our statutes, etc., etc. So I see the opposite being us not being able to organize it to a point where we could hold it a bigger issue than postponing it to make sure that we have everything in place in accordance with our statutes. No one wants to run an illegal meeting, at least not for this purpose. Alessandro, do you want to say the last words before I close this point of the agenda?
Yeah. Yes, that's for sure. No one wants to run an illegal meeting, but the thing is that as far as I know, if you don't have anything that is written in your statuses, then all the other, let's say, laws are in place. So we should think. I mean, it's not a good idea to vote on this if you're not sure if we cannot postpone. But at least we should just investigate, because in my opinion, yes, of course, if we cannot postpone, we will do it. But I'm pretty sure that no, we can postpone it by law. So that's maybe it's not the right time to vote because we're not 100% sure. But after that, next Sunday we should at least take a decision. It's just for having for inform all the members, and even to endorse all the members that, hey guys, if we won't make it, we won't do it, something like this.
Right. So I guess the question to the board is then whether we should vote on the proposal that if we have not been able to in the next 2 weeks organize the meeting sufficiently to be able to have a meeting, whether we will then take a vote at that given point on whether to postpone or not. So this is not now, but that we in 2 weeks will have that vote.
Right.
So please, members of the board, on line 78, 79, and 80, the proposal is on line 77. myself, Alessandro, and Excel have cast a vote. I see Jack Sparrow has doubled in the time. So please, Flori, Katla, and Jan, if you could cast a vote, we could then. Oh, Jan has, Katla has, Flori.
I see three Jack Sparrows actually.
Well, one can never have too many Jack Sparrows, I guess.
Just beat it. Like, beat me
Agree.
to it. I was going to say the same.
Yep.
Flori?
Yes.
I was wondering if you could cast a vote on the proposal
Yes,
on line 77. Oh, fantastic. That gives us 2 weeks to sort of get our ducks in a row and make sure that we have everything that we need in order to be able to do it, and that we take then a decision in 2 weeks if we haven't been able to, what we're going to do then. So we have 3 yeses and 3 abstains. I guess
I can live with this. That's okay. In fact, the proposal means only that in 2 weeks we have to speak about this once again and then perhaps to vote.
Yes, absolutely. This is not a big terminal end of time decision thing. It is that we're giving ourselves 2 weeks to do our best to organize the council meeting. And if we at that point have not been able to organize sufficiently to be able to have a council meeting, that we then will take a second conversation and a vote whether to postpone or not. I'm not suggesting that now at all. Then the second point of our short and sweet agenda is observing member request. The board received, let me see here, on the 5th of this month, the 5th of November, 3 days ago, a request from the legal representative of Pirati, which is a small organization committed to gather, connect, and give support and encouragement to people and organizations that recognize themselves in the objective of the pirate movement in Italy, that they, according to Article 8, Paragraph 1, Part C, be admitted as an observing member. Now, I suggest that we have received that, and that this, of course, is to be taken up at the council meeting. So the request has been received by the board of the PPU and will be taken up, as I believe needs to be on a council meeting for them to become observing members. I don't hang on. I think that was the, yes, that was the only. And they attached their statutes, etc. For I think, and they have a manifesto, etc. But I will leave it to, unless anyone has questions. It's simply a received. Excel, I see that you put in delegates, the link to the list of delegates, etc. The membership in the proposals, I can, the topic doesn't exist yet. Okay. So I guess what the board needs to do is simply update the proposal section with this, I guess, membership observation membership application.
Yes, it's something I just would like, please, is there a link to a nice homepage from Pirati?
Yes.
Then put it in the minutes, please. So I will update this to the wiki. This wouldn't be a problem. And obviously there is much more work to be done in the European Pirate Wiki site to actualize. But it's coming as the work is going further. I raised hand for another issue. What I would like to have confirmed by you, dearest board, is line 73 of the actual minutes. Board agrees to have Thursday and Sunday meetings up until the council meeting weekend. I put myself, Exile will attend, and if you like to, also Exile will attend and invite. But as Okta said, please, board members, anybody who's interested in doing the orga of the council meeting, put your name here.
That's line 74, please. So Exile and Katla so far, for us to be able to, I think for us to be able to do this, we as a board sort of need to commit to doing some sort of work on this, even if we cannot make it to the meeting itself. Jan and Flori, are you, and Alessandro, are you available to work on the organizing of the meeting? Alessandro has
Yes.
put his name.
Yes, 100%.
Jan, will you be able to assist with the organizing of the council meeting?
Well, that depends on assisting with what, because so far I try to study the documents in PPEO wiki as to like what exactly is actually necessary for organizing of these of the council meetings, but it wasn't so clear to me, and I haven't studied as a lawyer, so I don't think I can help with most of the really important stuff.
Right. But let's just say, Jan, if you could then attend maybe the next meeting and it would be clearer what things need to be done, and then maybe the delegation of those tasks, that could be something that you could then assist with.
Yeah, but we're talking about organizing meeting, not about the Pirati or
no,
because
no, Exile took us back up to line 74.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'm not sure. Like, also to the what concerns the potential postponement. Like, I think like worst case scenario, I think maybe like Mikuláš or Market could maybe task some of their assistants to help out. But I think this is the same. I think Icelandic pirates have probably the same provision, is that primarily anything in the party should be any work in the party should primarily be done by volunteers, and only when it fails in volunteering, then maybe you can like throw money at the problem, so to speak.
Right, we're looking for volunteers from the board particularly to be able to organize the next council meeting. And if you are available to assist in any way, you and also Flori, if there's anything that if you have time to give, please put your names in line 74. Okay. The point 2, the observing member request, that just needs to be updated on the wiki. Does anyone?
And am I understanding it correctly that the Pirati organization is like a breakaway organization from the Italian pirates? Because it's trying, like, the sounding of the official request makes it sound like they're not, but I mean, in principle, it's basically the same situation that is in Slovakia, because Slovakia has 2 member parties, I think.
Right. It's not Italian Pirate Party or the movement. It's an organization. So I believe it's more like an NGO. But I mean, I think for the purposes of this meeting, what we need to do is just acknowledge that a observing member request came to the board. And then that will be taken up at the council meeting. Within, the statutes, we have pretty, fairly clear mandates of who can be observing members or not. So, right. Are there any other comments or questions in regards to point 2?
Just to answer Onza, I think that we as a board should only take into account the request, the admittance request,
Right.
and just see that if the request has everything formally correct or not. Because if something is wrong, maybe it's up to us to ask them, because I think that we don't have the power to accept or deny
No.
the request itself. But we as a board, we just take into account, and of course, if there is something missing, probably we should tell them that there is something missing in order to apply properly. And then, of course, the council will decide based on all the documentations that they will provide, or I think that they can also be invited. I can't remember, but as I remember, last time when we have observer membership applying and also ordinary members, we have their delegation, and they could explain something.
Right.
That they can't. Okay, that's it.
Exactly. So it's I think that explained it quite. It's not for the board to decide; it's for the council members. So the request has been received and will be added on by wonderful Excel to the proposed draft agenda. So I am going to run through to the next point of the agenda, the reports for the treasurer. A recurring theme of these fantastic council meetings that we have is whether we receive our invoices as members in due time to be able to have voting rights and all this other jazz. So I wanted to ask whether our treasurer could give us a report on what that looks like right now.
It looks like that the first time that I sent everything to everybody from my personal home client using because nobody answered, so I was just a bit worried. So I resent invoices to everyone, and the situation is currently. I also have some doubts. As far as I can see in our wiki, we have 2 only votes from Luxembourg to this year, and not 3 like the previous one. Is that correct? Because I'm searching. I was searching the information about the here. Let me just post you the link in the Jitsi chat if I can reach it. Yes, this one. You see, this one was pretty fine, but the problem is that as far as I can see, the Piratenpartei Luxembourg has only 2 votes, not 3.
Right.
But I surely remember that they had 3 in Milan.
Yes.
So the thing is that is the minute wrong in the wiki wrong in the 2019, or it's wrong for this year? Are they losing a vote or not? That's why, because I already sent actually the invoice for 3 votes. So I will just I now that I realize this, I will keep directly in contact into them and just pick it up a phone and call them, because I need to know. And also I realized that we need to take in account and to clarify better, because somebody asked me in the Mattermost channel, the Piratska Stranka Slovenia has 1 vote, and also the only Pirate Party that has already paid, let's say, because they have some money, some credits, is the Pirate Party of Sweden, and all the others as to pay. But the thing is, what we have to do, I always ask this question. I know it's annoying, but because I read the status, and I think that after 2 years unpaid, we should no longer consider the the membership alive. And last time we had some unpaid fees. So I think that what I don't know what we should have to do with this one. If they paid this fee, the fee for this year, that is actually reduced by 1/6, it's 50 euro per vote per year, and they didn't pay the last one. That was my main question. And the other thing that I can do, studying from myself, is that I will write them, let's say, if not every day right now, let's say at least every week. So 1 week today, next Sunday, the Sunday after, and then in the final, just to be sure, because it was annoying. Even if it's 50 euro, it's annoying that for some administrative reasons, it's. I know that it's not for collecting money. It's a formal, but it's, it is something that has to be done, right?
Thank you. Exile.
Yes, regarding this inactive members, like Spain, for example, is my personal view of this is that the board should not bother about memberships, whether they're active, inactive, whatever. It's up to a decision to the council to eliminate inactive members, as we have in the proposed agenda already appoint new members admission. Perhaps it will be thinkable to prolong this point, new members admission, and delaying or putting out inactive members, so to clear the member states up,
Thank you.
I explained myself.
As I understood, what you're saying is it shouldn't be up to the board to take that decision. That decision needs to be taken by the council members as a whole.
Yes.
Right. I concur. I agree with that. I see that Michael Sinclair says that we should just give them all observer status first. I don't necessarily think that there's a difference between an observer member and a non-active member, and I think there's a reason for that differentiation. So Alessandro?
Yes, sorry. I of course I will totally agree. Sorry, can you see me? Because I see
Yes.
something strange. Okay, no, I see that. Of course, I'm much more glad if the council decide for all the members and anyone who can vote or not. The thing is that, and of course, I will present the situation. This one paid this year. This one didn't pay this year. This one didn't pay last year. This one, they will have the perfect situation. But the thing is as far as because if the status is clear, I think that this is something. These are maths, there is nothing to decide. There are maths. Of course, then we should say that the fact is this, and because of this, we realize that this this member of the council is no more a member. And of course, the council that has the last word anyway can say, no, let's vote to let's have some procedural motion to readmit or to just as far as I remember. Do you remember, Octavia, in Reykjavik
We had to do
just
that. Yeah.
we had to do that because nobody paid for 4 years, right? Because the reason was that they didn't have invoices for 4 years. But and then that was, we just say leave or not. That's why the Swedish party has a lot of membership paid, because they paid a lot of time, several times, and now they have monies for the next 6 years. But at least I know that is really nothing. It's really a narrow band decision. But in my opinion, the status is pretty much clear.
Okay.
After 2 years, they are no more members. Of course, I don't want to throw anybody out of the bus. Believe me, it's not my. But I'm still, because the thing is that you got no answer. For instance, as I already told you in last council meeting, last time that one of our members wrote me back, 300 euro for us that has a budget like 4,000 euro. It's a lot of money,
Right.
and probably so for many others party that didn't pay. I was thinking about the Polish pirates, right? And that's why we decided to reduce this, because we don't need so much money right now, and we already had quite a lot of money to move on and even to organize stuff and to fulfill all our goals. Okay, so that was my point. Sorry.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for this status. As you say, the statutes are pretty clear. I think this the reason why I wanted to raise it now is because we have 3 weeks until the council meeting where voting rights depend on payment. So I think it was good just to revisit this, and it's something that the organization of the council meeting need to also have a look at. Unless others, I don't see anyone else raising their hands. So I will continue with point number 4. Point number 4 was freedom to share. So please, we had, I don't see it.
Marco should be
Marco?
here. Yes, Marco, show yourself, please.
Marco, please, we are ready for your presentation. Oh, I can see that the connection just lost. Let's give it 30 seconds for Marco to refresh. So what we're waiting on is point 4 of the agenda, which is in line 76, freedom to share, ECI. There's going to be a presentation of the current status. I believe that Marco is frozen.
while we're just waiting, maybe 30 seconds more for Marco. I saw in the minutes that the Luxembourg Pirates get 70.7 at the election,
Exactly.
right?
Hmm.
7.7. I think that it's not enough to get 3 delegates.
think-
But I was wondering when they got these results.
If you look at the wiki, and let me just add this link. Here we are. And you scroll down to PPLU, footnote number 39, links onto Wikipedia, where you can see that they received 96,579% of, or not percent. Oh, that would be lovely though. Votes equaling 7.7%. And so
But
that's
that-
also in the notes.
That's for the European election. But what about the national election? Because I think that also national elections counts.
Is this not for the? No, that was for the.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. I will ask them, but yeah, I will ask them for sure, for sure.
They have 2 members of parliament, Mark and Sven. But I don't remember.
Okay, let's say that I will clarify it one for sure, so we don't have to handle this. Anyway, I was
6 point. Yeah, they got 6.45% of the votes in 2018.
Okay. It's not for the 50 euro. I asked more. It's just for the vote. To be clear, for the vote, because actually I sent twice the invoice for 3 votes.
Right. So I think. Does anyone have access to or a phone number? Try and ping Marco.
Yeah, he is there. He just wrote me. That he's there, but if he doesn't speak, I can speak for him.
I can see
or even
the
you.
connection is lost. If he could refresh. That his connection is lost, he won't be able to speak. Jack Sparrow's back. I do enjoy the multiple Jack Sparrows that we have.
I think that you were with the other Marcus on the slide.
Confalonieri, mute yourself, please. My ears are bleeding.
So I see now. Unfortunately, with this instance of Jitsi, I can't throw out the other instances. But Marco, I can see you now. Your audio was did not sound healthy.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
I see. Perfect. So, Mark, yeah, we can hear you now. So, Marco, please, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. I understand you want an update about the ECI, the freedom to share ECI.
Absolutely.
So,
Yes.
the 15th of November, signature collection starts. That's the date we choose. It was actually the last date, the last possible date. And we are right now in the process of obtaining certification for the platform we will use. We decided to use for online digital collection an individual platform, which according to the people who knows about this, it's much better. We decided to use then OpenECI. It's the free software platform available for signature collection. But if you want to use a personal, an individual platform for digital signature collection, you have to go through a process of certification. Right now, should end tomorrow. We are making penetration tests of our platform, and we are hoping to be ready with the certificate, the platform certified on the 15th of November. Otherwise, we will start with the paper signature collection on the 15th of November. Then in a few days, if we will not be ready on the 15th of November with the digital signature collection platform, we will start some days later with the online digital collection. Then the process is starting. We wait for your help because it's very important. We will have to collect 1 million signatures in 1 year, maybe a little bit more, because some months ago the European Parliament issued a regulation that would provide for an extension in case there are in the next month more lockdown. The extension was provided to the previous European citizen initiatives, and provides that in case there is some more lockdown through Europe, they will provide for more extensions. This would affect us in case there is more lockdown, like it's happening now in Italy and in other countries, basically. So we need really much your help, because we need activity in different countries. So in Italy, we will do some work. There are people from France, people from Germany, Netherlands, and other countries. But it's very important to be ready to spread this initiative in all European countries in order to get what I think it's an opportunity, because getting 1 million signatures means getting to let know this initiative to much more people, to many other people. And this would allow us to reach a public that goes farther than, I would say, the typical pirate voter, let's say. So my request is, please help us to get in all the European countries and this initiative. If you want to know something more, I see Gregory, that is the father of the work of the choice for the OpenECI platform, which is a very good choice. And well, basically that's all. I don't know if you have any question. I'm ready to reply you and give you all the information you want.
Thank you so much for that presentation, Marco. Questions? Any questions for Marco and the ECI platform? Any thoughts? Any comments? This is your chance. Exile.
Yeah, perhaps just a short one, as we agreed in I believe last board meeting that Gamitra and myself we will have from the board a little bit on look of European citizen initiatives, and as this freedom to share is well something we had the order from the council meeting in Milan to especially look at. Of course, we will have this posted. What I was wondering, I know Gregory very well for the Germans. I know that in Spain is a pirate on top looking also after this. France, you mentioned, Netherlands, you mentioned. Is there any particularly country you will need a certain access?
All the others. Well, all the countries are important because all signatures are important. To reach 1 million signatures, we need to be able to penetrate all the countries. So I would say it's important to get to all the countries.
Czech Republic.
Exactly. I can see that among the chat countries mentioned are Finland, Czechia, Czech Republic, Ireland. So absolutely, the wider I get, I mean, what you're looking for is signatures in the numbers of 3 times the population of Iceland, and we're not in the European Union, unfortunately. So we can help spread the word, but but I don't think we can do a lot more than that. Okay. Any other comments or questions? Gregory.
Yeah, thank you very much. So yeah, I think you might do more than just that. So as I just wrote, so we have active members in the organizer team, representative coordinators that coordinate the effort in Italy, Germany, France, Spain, Netherlands, and Luxembourg. So at least Luxembourg have appointed people. So what you can do is ask your members to appoint a representative / coordinator that would coordinate the national campaign in their country, because of course we need to collect signatures across over Europe, but we need to also meet quorums in 7 countries, and that means quite a lot. For Germany it's 72,000, for Luxembourg it's 3,400. So it's still a stretch for every country it is. So we need to do definitely national coordination, contacting NGOs and groups of volunteers like students organizations or hack centers or anything that could support us. It could be also workers' unions or any other kind of organizations that could provide some signatures, could distribute the message to their members or put a message or write about it on their website or blog. This is all very, very welcomed. And I guess that Pirate Party of Europe could really help their finding those coordinators. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Now's your time. If not, I am going to thank you so much, Marco, for
You're
giving us this
welcome.
update. I for one look forward to doing my best to help this along.
Thank you very much. Have a nice evening, all of
You too.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Octa, you could start the process of being part of the European not geographically part also only, you know.
We we need to have a conversation that's a little bit. Now we have elections next year, which is going to be important, but yeah, we're a part of the European Economic Area for now, and then we need to have a, maybe a restart.
Allora, sempre i
Allora,
soldi.
allora we will
Allora,
try.
money, only money. Politics.
Money is fish and fish is money, you know? Thank you so much. I think that was, I wanted to ask if anyone has a point for the any other business. Jan, please go ahead.
So during the last meeting, I had this point about making a working group that would have some sort of a proposal concerning Corona and civil rights restrictions. And unfortunately, we didn't. Well, only Alessandro agreed to it, but then we didn't meet because he didn't have time. So I just wanted to reiterate it or ask if it's better to try to have a working group meeting again, or if I should maybe just if there's going to be a time to discuss this and make some sort of a proposal at the council meeting, or if since as far as I understand, we don't have anything resembling a schedule so far for council meeting, right?
There is in fact a draft agenda. Let me provide you with the link. I'm putting the link into the Meet Jitsi. So I think both of those proposals are good. Does anyone want to add on or have questions for Jan in terms of the COVID response and civil rights? Katla?
Yeah, hi. I remember you talking about this 2 weeks ago, and that I was interested in being in the meeting as well because I was curious. You talked about doing it this week, I think, but then much like Alessandro, I forgot, and it didn't show up in any of the social media that I check daily. So I really would like to be informed about the next time that you want to meet and talk about these things and make a proposal. If you could put it on Signal, for example, that would be a nice reminder when you've decided on a date. Yeah, that would be great. I'm very excited
Yeah,
about it.
well, last time we agreed on like this Thursday. We even had the date of 2030, but I posted like it was both a reminder and also a question if anyone else wants to partake on Mattermost, but it seems that most people read that maybe like 2 days later because most people don't get Mattermost updates immediately. I don't have Signal. I guess I could download it, but I'm already using. I counted it to 10 different platforms to communicate with different people from pirate parties. So it's starting to get really crowded.
I understand.
I get that, definitely. I really would like to be there. So if you have decided a date and you have a link and you have a time, then please just put it on the Mattermost and I'll put it in my diary.
Also, I'd like to add to there is a channel, a public channel in the Mattermost called COVID-19 Info. And so maybe if there are other people that would like to join, it would be a good place also to post the date and the time.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't consider it because the channel that channel has been inactive since
June.
June or something. But maybe there's still someone on it.
There's a ton of people there, and I can see it's basically me and Gregory posting some things. No, Jan as well. Yeah, there's a little bit, but you have to come way back to May before there's some. So yeah, it could be a good way to maybe get it a little bit spread the news of the meeting further. And Flori, you had your hand up. Flori, you asked to speak?
No, yes, no, sorry, it was a misclick. Sorry.
Okay. Then I am going to. Are there any other business? Any other business? Then I am going to call the meeting closed at 21:23. Our next board meeting is not set in 2 weeks, as we are on a council meeting there. So
Council meeting in 3 weeks, Octa.
that's right. I'm sorry. Thank you. I had it on both weekends, I see now. So our next board meeting will be on the 22nd of November at 8 o'clock Central European time. Thank you all for joining.
Just a moment, Octa. You're going too fast. Didn't we agree? The way I understood it, regarding organization of the council meeting, we agreed that there will be the working group meeting on Thursday, and nonetheless, we will speed up also our board meetings to weekly, and we'll meet next Sunday.
Right.
Yes.
Maybe that's a misunderstanding from my part. I thought they were all going to be work meetings. If they are not, then the next Sunday is in fact our next board meeting. Do I understand, Katla and Exile, correctly that you want it to be a board meeting, not a work meeting on next Sunday?
Yes, that was our meeting, I think.
Then I apologize. Our next board meeting will be 7 days from now on the 15th at the same time, 8 o'clock CET.
Just a short question. Is Exile still here?
Yes.
Because the German pirates were supposed to have their pan-Germanic pirate meeting on 15th. I'm not sure. I think that got cancelled. But are you not going to have at least like some? Are you not going to have some online event on that date? I'm just curious if that doesn't conflict for you.
No problem. At the moment, General Assembly of the Germans is cancelled, and it's not clear. It's not that there will be something like an online General Assembly or something like this. That for sure not. They will tell us how to proceed. At the moment, it's a legal problem also with the Parteiengesetz in Germany. Nonetheless, I take the minutes as they are and will copy paste this to the European wikis. And thanks for chairing the meeting, Octa.
Thank you, and thank you, Exile and Alexander, for taking the minutes. Yeah, I think that's it for now. I was wondering whether some of you wanted to hang back right now and just say if there's any particular points or anything that we can do in terms of the organization of. So just, if there are any tasks you can throw out right now, I'd be ready to take on a task or two before Thursday, or whether you want to do that on Thursday.
On Thursday.
You wanna wait
Are
with
you
tasks?
Sorry, Octa, are you available on Thursday. Nonetheless, right now there are a lot of people here, yeah, and I will copy and paste once again the people we are searching for already in the last organization meeting. And I'm totally fine to, if you are telling us, look, I can do also chair, I will put this in the minutes and great. But nonetheless, of course, the real date is next Thursday.
Okay. All right. Then I will do my best to come on Thursday. I'll make sure that that happens. Then I just wanted to thank everyone. It was great to see many new and also familiar faces today.
Very, very good meeting.
Thank you all and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Productive. So productive.
Thank you, guys. Love to see you all. We should. I love this board.